Hey everyone, this is OP Analysis, and today I'm going to be reviewing chapter 1021 of the One Piece manga. The official just released on my Viz manga app a few hours ago, and I did see the scans. I read straight through the scans Friday, but I decided to wait until the official just because, I don't know, it just seems like the proper way to do things. Regardless, let's just jump right in, because this chapter is fantastic. Immediately, the cover page, beautiful. We got Senior Pink and Frankie just kind of like sharing a drink, and it's just beautiful to see it. You know, everyone's crying, and then we just jump immediately into the Black Maria and Robin fight, right where we left off, with Robin forming that gigantic version of herself with arms and everything. And this fight is pretty great. This might be my favorite fight of Onigashima thus far. And so essentially, we just see Robin try to grab Black Maria, and then Black Maria quickly, starts using her weapon to slash Robin's arms, like her big arms, and realizes if I attack those, that also does damage to Robin. And this fight has some beautiful choreography. Just to be quite frank, it looks beautiful, it's easy to read, it has a good flow to it, and yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. Apparently, if you poison Robin's limb, like her, fake limb, that will actually poison Robin as well, as she avoided Black Maria's poison. I thought that was fairly interesting. Anyways, we get this amazing scene, which I feel bad for saying, but where Black Maria basically puts on like some brass knuckles and starts like ferociously beating the bigger Robin's face, which of course all that damage goes back to Robin. And I kinda love it, and the reason for that is just the brutality of it. One of Oda's common criticisms is that he is not very brutal with his female characters whenever they fight, and to a certain degree I can see that. It's not that they ever don't get damage, it's just like, we see someone like Luffy who will just take punch after punch after punch. With the female characters, they more often get hit a few times and it's big hits, but it's never something that really feels brutal. Even with Oti, who was fighting against Big Mom and Nami, and she got attacked with some very lethal attacks, it never felt like brutal. If you get what I mean. Like, it felt like the attack was strong and dangerous, but it never felt like it was done brutally. On the other hand, this actually does feel brutal. I don't think we've ever seen a female character just get beat up on like this, especially right in their face. I think maybe the closest is perhaps Miss Doublefinger versus Nami back in Alabasta, but even so, we never got anything to this level. And so I was actually enjoying that quite a bit. And then Black Maria, she's a pretty good matchup for Robin, I think, Devil Fruit wise, mainly because of her ability to create webs, and she does also have extra limbs, similar to Robin even. And anyways, her threads are actually flammable, like her spider webs are flammable, and apparently her spider half can spit fire, so that's interesting. But anyways, she kind of sets the whole place ablaze, and we end up getting a flashback for Robin of her with Sabo, Hack, and Koala, and they'll talk about teaching her some moves for safety. She's not really for it at first, but she eventually warms up and is like, okay, why don't you teach me? Interesting enough, Sabo did offer to teach her the Dragon Claw Fist, so she might actually have that in her repertoire of moves. We don't actually know. She doesn't showcase it in this fight. We could potentially see it later down the line, though. Regardless, what she does use is a palm attack from Fisherman Karate that we apparently saw at the beginning when she kind of pushed them away from rock formation underwater when they were going down to Fishman Island. And at the time, I don't think any of us thought anything of it other than the fact that oh, now she can use big limbs pretty much no problem. But now looking back, yeah, typically all the attacks she's done are clutch attacks and slaps, so that was a bit different than what we had seen previous. And so she uses this palm attack to basically destroy the ceiling, and all the rubble comes down and puts out the fire. So I like that. It was a nice little bit of strategy just thrown into the fight, and I really appreciated it. And I don't know, it's quite frankly been so long since we had a Robin fight. The last one-on-one we had was her versus Yama at Skypiea. So what to expect from a Robin fight has kind of been vague up until this point, but even with her fight against Yama, she did use a bit of strategy there, turning his strip of axe styles reversed so it attacks him instead. That was a nice little bit of strategy. And so was this, and I really just enjoyed it, this whole fight. But then we get Domino Fleur, which I really love. I find it funny that this was the one that, this doesn't get a flashback. The palm technique gets a flashback, but this technique just comes out of nowhere, and it's like, no flashback necessary. But this is a dope technique in which she actually does create a full avatar, essentially, made from her limbs and everything, and it's really cool. And it's just like all black and everything, and she just kind of grabs Black Maria, puts her in a hold, and just does her clutch thing, and it seems like the end of the fight. And I have to say, this is definitely my favorite fight thus far. And as far as like the Toby Ropo go, I'm fine with Black Maria actually being down for the count. Like, the end of this fight actually felt satisfying. Like, I've enjoyed a lot of the other fights so far, but they haven't really felt as satisfying when it comes to the ending. Like, I did not enjoy the Nami versus Oti fight. I will say that was kind of lacking. I don't hate it or anything, but it just, I had expectations and it did not meet them. So I'm really hoping that we get a round 2 or something. But that end felt kind of lacking because it was just like one shot over. There was not really much going on, especially since so much of it previous with her and Usopp had been off screen. And then the Jinbei versus Who's Who fight, I like that fight, but I feel like we should have gotten another chapter for it. It just felt so short and it ended so quickly. And then the Sasaki versus Frankie fight, although Frankie said that like he's performed multiple finishing attacks on the dude, and we see that with like the victory slash already and everything, and like the big coup event that he did with General Frankie, I don't know, seeing the Radical Beam finish the fight, it just doesn't feel like it should. You know, it feels like something's missing there. It doesn't feel as climactic as it should. It feels like Sasaki could get up any moment, and I'm hoping he does. Same with Who's Who, and same with Oti. But Black Maria, I'm fine with her not being here. Like, I'm fine with this being the end of her. It felt good. I liked it. It's just a good end to a good fight. I will speak on this real quick. A lot of people are talking about this new attack Robin does, and they seem to think that what she has on her is haki. Now, I can't say for certain, obviously. It will probably be cleared up in the anime. I highly doubt it's haki, though, and there's a few reasons for this. I'm gonna put them up on the screen now, but if you look at haki on characters, the shading is just a bit different from the shading we see with Robin here. And it's just, her shading has way too much white on the sides, and it just lacks that metallic look. You know, like, a lot of the haki has these little circles to kind of indicate light bouncing off of it. She doesn't have any of that in this form. And so I do think it's more of an artistic choice. Second reason is she was there on Punk Hazard when Luffy told Law that only him, Zoro, and Sanji had haki. So it's weird because this attack doesn't seem like she just made it up on the spot. It doesn't seem like she just awakened haki. This seems like an attack she's had in her arsenal since the beginning of time skip. So it's weird to me that she was there, and if she had haki, she wouldn't have said, "Oh, I have haki too, actually, Luffy." You know, like, that seems a bit odd. So there's that. And then there's also just the fact that haki doesn't seem like to be useful in this situation. Like, our basic understanding of like regular haki is that it is like an invisible armor, which is why when you hit someone with, like, when you punch someone with haki, it hurts more, because it's almost as if you're punching them with brass knuckles on. And even better than brass knuckles, these have the same effect with none of the drawbacks of extra weight. So like, it's just basically really good super brass knuckles, right? So that's why you hit harder. And then when someone hits you, it's like you have an armor urn, you know? It's just a better defense than your regular skin. But from what we've seen, if you were only able to lift 100 pounds, using haki and then trying to lift 150 pounds, you should still only be able to lift 100 is what I'm saying. It doesn't seem to actually increase your physical strength, only your ability to do damage. The same way brass knuckles or armor doesn't actually increase your physical strength. Now, Robin's attack was a hold, and then she did a clutch. I don't understand why she would need haki against Black Maria when she's attacking in that manner. Like, on a Logia style, like on a Logia user, that would make sense, because you need to be able to actually touch them. But Black Maria is a zone user, and it's, like I said, it's just a hold, and Haki has never indicated that it actually increases your physical strength, so I don't know why that would be the assumption so many people have gone to. I don't think it makes sense, but hey, I could be wrong. We'll see when the anime gets to it. I'm putting my bets on it's not Haki though. Moving on, we saw Brook, and he basically just took out I won't call them fodder, but like Black Maria's subordinates with a nice new attack that kind of makes a musical note when he does it. It's called Phrase d'Hermes Orchestra. I butchered that pronunciation. Sorry for that. I think it might have orchestra in the name though, mainly because he's taking out several people, and an orchestra has several people. But yeah, just a nice quick attack. I'm hoping Brook gets some kind of good 1v1. Some point this arc, he really needs it. He's the only Straw Hat who's never had a proper 1v1, and I'm really, like Jinbei just got one, and Jinbei just officially joined this arc. Brook joined all the way back in Thriller, and he still has yet to get one. I really need Brook to get one. I want him to show off. But anyways, let's cut back to the end of the chapter, and it's a great ending too. A nice place to leave off. Basically, Luffy's eating right now. The Caribou had a bunch of food, so he's regaining the stamina. But more importantly, Momo is talking to Shinobu about her using her Devil Fruit ability to make him into a man so he can become like a gigantic dragon to fly Luffy up. I love this. Obviously this theory has already been around, like the idea of Momo being aged up. The only one I particularly have seen was Mr. Morj's video, which I shall link in the description, but like it's a theory that's been around for a while. I'm happy that it's happening. I'm interested in seeing how this might play into the common theme that has been around since like Punk Hazard through Dressrosa and even in like Whole Cake and now into Wano. I might make a video on that theme. But regardless, like I'm excited for it. What I'm not so excited about is the potential of like a lot of people think that he might be fighting Kaido like this. I don't think so, because I'm fine with Momo becoming naturally very strong, you know, just having a lot of like strength, right? Because we've seen people like Big Mom, she's just naturally very strong, so like that's perfectly cool. Him having like great armament Haki or Haki in general, on the other hand, that's a bit of a no, you know. If you maybe he already has observation and he's like, so he still has it then, but I don't think any of his Haki should advance, and I don't think he should gain armament Haki or anything like that. That doesn't make sense. It's a learned technique. It's not something you'd have. Like, if you'd have aged me up 5 years from now and I had I could just do like karate, that would be weird, you know. Karate's something you learn. It's not just something your body naturally just learns by itself, you know. Nonetheless, yeah, not a big fan of that. I would be fine with him fighting Kaido using his dragon form though. If his dragon form could do what Kaido's dragon form can do, I can see that actually being useful, but like regular human Momo, nah, I don't think that should happen. Regardless though, I'm interested to see what happens. Like I said, this was a fantastic chapter. This was my first chapter review. I hope you enjoyed. Like, if you actually liked the video, definitely subscribe. We're going to be having videos coming up soon on like the balance of power in One Piece, how strong Doflamingo is. I'm going to be doing another rereading One Piece with my friends. And like, yeah, I'm pretty excited for what the future holds, and I hope you are too. Did you like the chapter? Let me know down below, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.